Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends, fans come to get BS, argue, occasionally agree, not this discography, and disagree about an artist. This week's artist is Green Day. Hopefully this isn't your first time on the show. Hopefully you're following along, got the playlist, watched all our videos, figured out why Bill has Uno number one, for example.
I mean, Uno means one.
But yeah. But if you did click this video because you really were curious about a Green Day father of all motherfuckers review, well, you're in the right place. It's 2020. We got Green Day's father of all motherfuckers. I was hyped for this thing. I even got an unedited, store exclusive, no unicorn motherfuckers. I like this record.
How many of those did they press up?
It was a very, very limited quantity. This one's worth some. It's worth something now. Because again, nobody bought this fucking record. Even though this record had. This is the one that had no features, no Swedish songwriters, no trap beats, 100% pure, uncut rock. That's how they advertise this thing. And it failed miserably. But I'll go through my notes.
So does that mean Green Day fans want trap beats?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people were upset about that album cover. But we'll get to Is It Art? Father of All, do you know what I like about this song? It kind of reminds me of Beck's Midnight Vultures. If you injected about 65% more sexy into Father of All, it would be amazing. I do like it more than Revolution Radio's opening track, though. Super cool bass coming through the right speaker on the pre-chorus. Ready, fire, ready, aim. I love the keys. The chorus is super fun to sing along to. It's just a jam, like some T-Rex or something, you know? Oh, yeah, it's okay.
T-Rex is the jam, too.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of the chorus, but the verses are worth it, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. Meet Me on the Roof. I love it. It's such a fun, youthful, fuck it all, let's hang out party song. It kind of reminds me of Beck's Up All Night. Same vibe. I Was a Teenager. The chorus vocal melody just kicks ass. It's so damn fun. The B-side, though, however, is banger after banger on this fucking record. Stab You in the Heart. If you don't like it, you just don't fucking like rock and roll. I Want to Stab You in the Heart, right in the bloody, bloody heart. It's so fun. It's just back to the fucking Chuck Berry basics, rock and fucking roll. The solo at 1 minute, 5 seconds, so fucking good. The female backing vocals in the last chorus, it's a top song contender. Sugar Youth, speaking of top songs, you got Sugar Youth. Throwback to Peacemaker with the I've Got a Fever, a Non-Believer, and It's Killing Me. Like a high school loser that I'll never, ever, ever fuck the prom queen. So good. Mentions fire as well. Like this kind of felt like a 21st century breakdown type. Thematically, I'll say, not musically. Junkies on a High, probably my low point on the first listen of this album, but it's grown on me. The keys I like during the instrumental section. Yeah, the B-sides of this record is so good. Take the Money and Crawl, top song contender. So seconds of some staticky Western vibe. Then that rock and roll comes in swinging. The chorus is so damn fun. Oh yeah, it's just my luck, but I don't give a fuck. Take the Money and Crawl. And then you got Graffitia. Best closing track since What's Her Name. It's the best fucking closing track since What's Her Name. It's so fun. Like every song on this album, heaven forbid they have fun. And the lyrics, probably the best on the album. Fuck the haters. I fucking love Father of All Motherfuckers. This is my Green Day.
So this one was to fulfill a contract, right?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
At the time of recording the first time, I guess it's a good time to plug. Maybe we'll do a stream where we do a watching a reaction to our own Green Day video from a year ago that we don't remember recording. At the time of
Let us know
that,
down below if that's something you'd want to see.
I do remember talking about this record and how I thought it was like this was the last. That was the rumor that they were going to
Okay.
be done with Reprise, and they were just spitting out a fucking record. It's so damn short. They're shitting on the cover of American Idiot. It's kind of like a fuck you. But since then, they put out another record and
And so
Reprise.
it made you
So,
reevaluate. Okay. Well, is the new record on a different label? No.
uh,
No. No. So I again go back to the trilogy. Are we sure this was all like one recording session?
well, there was a gap, and there were some random singles coming out. I can't remember if it was before or after Father. That was like because they were just releasing a single like Pollyanna or, and it had that same rock and roll
And they
'50s
started doing like
trilogy vibe.
commercial work. They're doing the theme song to the Bill Maher show now. Um,
Fire Ready Aim was played at like some national hockey event.
okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like this one feels like a giant fuck you to everybody, and that's kind of part of its charm.
It ain't
Um,
Revolution Radio, the one that sold a bunch, it sold a
sure.
lot.
Um, yeah, I've talked about the 50s influence creeping in here for a couple albums now, and this one they really kind of doubled down on it. Um, is this as good as Social Distortion doing it? I'm not sure.
No.
But as far as Green Day goes, this one is the first one in a long time that actually feels like it's got something. But like it actually has the feels or whatever. Where the rest of them just feel like very cut and paste, formulaic. And not to say that isn't present here, because it is. It is still Green Day. But this in spirit, in songwriting, in production, in everything, this one almost feels like a throwback to the 80s stuff in a way of just like, we don't care about getting on the radio.
It does have
I don't know.
a feel to it, like a
There's a
energetic
charm to
almost.
it. Yeah, yeah. So the most energy I've heard in it since probably 21st Century Breakdown was the last time they had any energy for me. Maybe Uno. There's a little bit of energy on Uno. Um,
I mean, the tempo got turned up. There was energy on Uno.
well, just because you up the tempo doesn't mean the energy goes up.
Right.
That's a good
And yeah,
artificial
like
balancer.
I don't know, man. I mean, like I'm not here to knock their proficiency or anything, but as a musician myself, I hear this stuff and I just man, there's like they're just going through motions. Like it doesn't matter what the tempo is. We know what note we got to hit and we know when we're going to change it. And I mean, that's obviously what you want out of an album. I mean, I'm not knocking that process, but I guess as a listener, it's like I already know what note they're going to next because I've heard these songs before. Sometimes by Green Day, sometimes by other people.
Oh no, there's a video on YouTube where they go track by track and they play where it's from off this record.
Sure. Well, and I mean, you could do it for the last many
That's
Green
my
Day
defense is
albums.
why does this record take the hit for that when
This record shouldn't take the hit, relatively speaking.
Right, right. When the discography exists.
but
Yeah.
to me for a Green Day album it's short, it's
Right,
fun,
which is
it's very
a
insomniac.
plus. That's a point.
It's very like insomniac feeling as far as
Mhm.
what I want from Green Day. I don't want some 80
Quick and to
minute
the
long.
pointless.
Yeah, it's just fun Green Day.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, fun Green Day in the 21st century just means 50s rehash.
I mean, there's nothing new, nothing new. I'm not saying that, but yeah, I mean, what other
But they do
'50s
do it
record
well.
comes out?
No,
And
they do it well. They've always done it well. They just don't do anything else.
no, they're not. They will never reinvent the wheel at this point ever.
And I get it. People love McDonald's.
I mean, at this point, they're like the Foo Fighters. Like they're gonna put something out. If
And
you're a
people are
fan of
gonna
the
buy it.
band, you're gonna like it.
And
If
even
not,
then, I think the Foo Fighters are still doing something interesting with their discography.
I find
Yeah, the
Green Day's.
last few have been really lacking.
Yeah,
But
but
even then, like they
to
don't
me,
quite feel like
I find Green Day's discography interesting because, like, especially I knew Saviors was going to be Saviors. After hearing Father,
sure.
I've been through this where they go back and forth. It's Weezer does the same fucking thing where
And there's a lot of parallels here, aren't
they'll
there?
yeah
Yeah.
they'll put out a record that they know is not going to sell, but it's going to be the best shit they've ever done, and then they're going to put out a record that's going to sell, and it'll be
What
good
was
because you
that? The
like the band.
White Album by Weezer? The one where they're on the beach?
Yeah, the Beach Boys album. I love that record. It's
Yeah,
such a good
that
pop
one's pretty
record.
good, right? But
Then they put out the Black album, which is like this modern day EDM type shit that sucked. So,
and
Bill,
let's not even start about Beverly Hills.
see, I like that record. Maybe we need to redo Weezer in the new format. Bill, what'd you think of
Maybe.
Father?
So I listened to Father, and
I got a pretty copy.
I immediately realized at this point in Green Day, you could have almost made this album by taking that American Idiot kind of baseline mold, but then adding Alkaline Trio's Agony and Irony and My Chemical Romance Danger Days.
Well, and
And you get this
theoretically,
album.
and I hear exactly what you're saying. And theoretically, that's also part of the problem, though, right? Is like Green Day should be able to shit this album like it's a 30-minute album.
Yeah.
It should take them 30 minutes to make this. They should be able to just knock this out of the
Yeah.
park. And yet there's
So
still something missing.
so I'll say for me, and the part that immediately made me think of Agony and then realize like, oh yeah, it's the same. They're just doing the same shit. You know,
Yeah, right.
for the
Exactly.
first I was a teenager. It was the first track on this album that didn't have any clapping. And it was immediately followed up with Stab You in the Heart having clapping. And here's I try not to hate on clapping. I mentioned it before in Alkaline Trio.
I mean, it's
Like
fun. Get
clapping
into it, you
fits,
know?
but the issue is when it's the same clapping beat, one
Yeah.
the dum, like
It's every
there's more
song
ways
that
to
has
clap.
clapping. Yeah,
There's
for sure.
there's way
You
like
want some Tool math metal clapping going on?
sure. Like, but that's not like think about it, like that's something you okay. You say that you immediately think of something Tool math metal clapping, right? You do that clapping beat. It's what song are you playing? I don't know. Name one of 100.
Listen,
Yeah,
listen,
a
listen.
thousand.
We're on like album like 12 or 13 at this point. We're
Yes.
talking about Green Day, okay?
Yes.
So at
Yes.
what
At
point
one
did it
point,
just become a product?
there is no. I'm sorry, it's fucking Green Day. Like, what else do you expect?
I don't expect 5 of the
Well,
first 6
from a
tracks to
band
have the
that's
same
in the
clapping.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm still waiting for an identity.
They have an identity, I think.
I mean, I'll put it this way. As I mentioned, I was a
It's
teenage
not
teenager.
original.
I didn't say it was.
Okay. Okay. Just throwing that out there. I'm sorry, Bill. I cut you off.
No, you're fine. Hey, discussion's all good. But I mean, I mentioned I was Teenage Changer was the first one that didn't have clapping, and I would say that's probably my highlight of the album. Actually, I really liked it. I really liked the bass start on that one. I thought was really fun. And I mean, beside that, like it was, I also agree the B side better than the A side. Um, but I mean, I would say, I mean, Jason, you mentioned the drums on this one. I feel like the drums were very no, it was last week you mentioned the drums. The drums on this felt really basic. Like just okay, we're gonna follow the clapping, and then just okay, we're gonna hit the cymbal a couple times on a few songs, but then just
It's
go
like
back to
it's all eighth notes, right? They don't go above an eighth note on this album.
Okay,
uh
again, we're
they might
talking
do a
about
16th note or
Green
two.
Day.
I don't, but
Guys, why are we discussing their musical, like how many chords they're playing, the beats? This is Green
well,
Day. At this point in 2020, what are you expecting?
I'm expecting a professional musician of 30 years to know more than two chords.
They know four. Thank you.
four chords, you can have a song.
That's all you need.
It is all you need, but I'm expecting a professional musician of over 30 years to know more.
Well, you're not going to get that. And spoiler alert, you're not going to get that on the next record either.
Go back and watch our Mr. Bungle videos.
Where they actually devolved for me.
Just stay
But
tuned for Devo. Speaking of devolving,
Ooh.
that'll be a good one.
Uh, but no, I
I
mean,
am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward
No,
to that
I
one.
get it.
They were
Nobody
on
likes
my
this record.
list.
Nobody likes
I,
Father of All
No,
Motherfuckers. I get it.
well, let's rank this. Let's see how
yeah,
much we don't like it.
yeah. I think where I put it might surprise you a little bit, Jason.
No, nothing surprises me anymore.
That's a defeated look if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, just wait. Just wait. 1998's coming.
Yeah,
Just wait.
actually, it happened 26 years ago,
Yep. Just
27
wait.
years ago.
Go check out our Album of the Decade series. Subscribe, stick around, and watch 1998.
Stay tuned for the meat
Stay
grinder.
tuned for
That
that.
thing is going to be amaze balls.
All right. I might be surprised where Bill's going to put it. I don't know. Bill hates all these records, so really it doesn't matter where you're going to put it. Right there.
That is too high. That'll work.
Right there.
Well, yeah. Say the main drawback for me is the clapping. I mean, one song's one thing. It was too much overall.
We know you are biased against clapping. All right, Tim.
No saxophone solos.
Is that a good measurement? Saxophone solos over clapping. All right, so it's not going above 6.
No.
Right there.
Higher.
Right there.
Higher.
Oh, it's just going right behind saxophone solos.
Yep. Yep. That is correct, sir. But what about you?
The one who actually likes this band. I'm going to put it right behind Dose. When I went back to listen to this record to take new notes, because my notes in that first video they're shit. Not that I got any better, but it grew on me. I listen to Father of All Motherfuckers a lot compared to some of these other later Green Day albums because it's so short. You stick it in, it's fun, it's done, it's over. So it's kind of grown on me. Maybe Saviors will grow on me. I don't know.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. That is our last one. We're gonna fucking be done. Then we get top songs. And is it art?
Then we're done with Green Day, and Jason's happy from the sounds of that, Tim. Did you hear that? That
I
like
did.
sigh of acknowledgement?
Right. Well, I mean, this has been an epic in the making for over a year.
Exactly. And we're finally getting these episodes aired.
Yes.
Hopefully, they're
finally
horrible
done.
enough that Jason hates them again.
I have questioned that. It's like
Go check out the star. You watching? Remember, go check
Shout
out the
out
star
to
of this
Denver
playlist.
shout out to
and
Denver
Tony.
and Tony.
And yeah, they both joined us for part of this journey. This one has been a journey for sure.
It's been an epic.
Yeah.
It's been a fucking nightmare. Stick around. Saviors is next. Be safe and make good decisions. Until they put out another one.
Are we the last forgotten? Are we the long lost?
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.